Hey guys, and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing MotoGP 22. Today I'm going to be playing here in the Circuit of the Americas with Alex Rins, quotation marks. Not exactly, but I will be using the LCR Honda, and Sergio23 has been kind enough to make the number of Alex Rins for me to use on the LCR Castrol Honda. Now, I've been using this bike for career mode, so I do feel pretty good with it anyway. But in the career mode, I wasn't using power setting 3, I was always reducing it down to power setting 1 to make things interesting for this, well, for any of the videos really, but this time, since it's going to be time trial, I'm going to use it, so I have no issue with using the third power setting. The rest of my electronics will be the same, such as traction control on 2 and anti-wheelie on 2 as well. But of course, I'm using Alex Rins because of his excellent, stunning, phenomenal performance at the weekend in both the sprint race and the full Grand Prix in the Circuit of the Americas. Alex Rins was absolutely fantastic. It was so good to see that the move from Suzuki to the Honda has paid off for the young Spaniard. Honestly, I really like Alex Rins. I'm a big fan of him, and his personality is great, so upbeat, so confident. I think Alex Rins is a great potential to be a MotoGP star, as which he is. He deserves the spotlight as much as anyone as far as I'm concerned, so I'm really pleased to see this has worked out. As I say, you know, big fan of Alex Rins, but more importantly, I think this offers a whole new equation to MotoGP. For years we've been talking about aggressive riders can only ride the Honda RC213V. I think for years we've mentioned this, and now all of a sudden Alex Rins' silky smooth riding style, quite possibly as far as I'm concerned, the smoothest in MotoGP, has either adapted his skill and his tenacity and temerity from being on Suzuki and jumping across to the Honda. Either he's matched it with the Honda's style, or he's just riding the same way and the Honda works out well. Maybe the new Honda is great, who knows? But we are only 4 races in, and so far Honda have had a disastrous time until Portimao's pole position was good, and then here for Alex Rins, who was just inches away from a pole position, and then of course the Grand Prix victory at the weekend. So as far as I'm concerned, I think things look good. Joan Mir on the Honda doesn't look that bad either. I think he's still adapting. So maybe it's all not doom and gloom for the Japanese manufacturer. Let me know in the comments section what you think about that, and also let me know how you felt about the Grand Prix at the weekend. Moto 3 was extremely exciting, I very much enjoyed it. Moto 2 was a bit boring halfway through. We had that lull halfway where things just tend to be feeling each other out. And then of course, unfortunately, Tony Arbolino losing it on the final bit. I know a lot of people are going to be happy to see Pedro Acosta win, but personally for me, I like Tony Arbolino. I like the fact that he's the underdog, and I've got a lot of respect for Tony, so I'm hoping he can outshine the Acosta fanboys and see what happens. But who knows what's going to happen for the rest of this season. But as far as MotoGP goes, I don't particularly care for the Circuit of the Americas. I think it's one of the tracks in MotoGP that, if it disappeared from the calendar tomorrow, I would not care at all. But it was a decent weekend, as far as I'm concerned. It's good for the American fans, and it's good for occasionally some good racing. So yeah, it is what it is. But today's video anyway, guys and gals, I'm going to be discussing a bit more about MotoGP, but for now, I'm feeling pretty good in this circuit. I wasn't 20-30 minutes ago before I recorded this. I had a tough time with the consistency in this track. Now thankfully, I do know the Honda very well. I do feel good on the LCR Honda, whether it's the Repsol or the LCR, doesn't really matter. But I feel okay with it, so I'm hoping I can produce some good, consistent lap times here in the Circuit of the Americas. It's not easy track, of course it's 2+ minutes. Very difficult, there's a lot of undulation, there's a lot of turning, there's a lot of twisting. It's a tough track. And I've tried to match it with the real life tyre selection. So in real life they did go for the Michelin fronts, hard fronts, and Michelin rears, soft rears should I say. And unfortunately there's my first invalidated lap for going too tight to the apex of turn 4. So with the hard front and the soft rear, it's not the optimal combination. It does predict that you should use a medium front and a soft rear. But I still feel pretty good with the hard option front. I do feel like in some of the corners where you can really push, the hard just hangs in there. And as far as the Hondas go, as far as the Ducatis go in MotoGP, they all tend to favour that hard option front. In fact, the Ducatis, they can't even really run anything else but the hard option front. And I kind of felt the same way in this video today. Whether I go for the medium or the hard, I think the hard would have benefited, but I didn't try the medium, so I guess I don't really know. So, I guess that's it for now. But guys, I hope you're enjoying the content. If you are, be sure to hit the like and subscribe button. If you're not yet subscribed, now's a great time to do so. But I do have a lot of great content coming out very soon, and with the announcement of MotoGP 23 and Ride 5, you better believe I'll be covering those in depth, giving you tips and tricks, so be sure to hit the subscribe button. Now, speaking to a couple of the guys in the Discord server and reading some of their comments regarding MotoGP race, Pecco Bagnaia surprisingly blew it again. Really wasn't expecting to blow it for the second time in 2 rounds. Gave up 20 points, pretty easy, comfortable points in Argentina. And then here this weekend, dropping a massive, whopping 25 points after looking impervious in the sprint. So very strange behaviour from the world champion. The number 1 is not looking like the number 1 when he does things like that. But I think the most bizarre part about it is that Pecco is questioning what happened. Now, as a rider, I imagine you know what has happened, you know what the issue is, but when you don't know the issue, that's concerning. That begs a question of what's happening to the Ducati, what's happening with Pecco, is he having a brain fart, you know, what's going on? Alex Rins was putting on the pressure, but not enough to really deter Pecco from winning. So that was a surprise and a half, to say the very least. But as far as Alex Rins goes, he was on it all weekend. It just makes you think what's going to happen when Marc Marquez comes back. Is he going to be healthy? Is he going to be able to tame the Honda like Alex Rins has tackled this weekend? And the last one is, if you said to me at the start of the season, Alex Rins will win a race on the Honda, I'm afraid I wouldn't have agreed with you. And I'm so glad to be proved wrong. Alex Rins has done it. Won on 2 manufacturers. Not many riders can say they've done that. Marc Marquez certainly hasn't, for one of them. If you can win on a 3rd manufacturer, which could be seeing this year with Jack Miller, I would like to see it, so who knows. But yeah, let me know what you think about the weekend in general. Let me know if you have anything to discuss. If you have something you want to really bring up to detail and to talk about, let me know in the comments section down below. I'm not going to give you a full review of the weekend, but our final question before we really focus on the time trial is the Circuit Americas safe? We discussed this in Portimao with a lot of crashes, but here in the Circuit Americas, a lot of crashes here in Austin. A lot. Only 13 riders finished. Augusto Fernandez got his first points, which is good to see. Raul Fernandez was down, and Miguel Oliveira went down so many times through the weekend. Jack Miller with 6 crashes. Bez had a couple of crashes himself. What's going on in Austin, Texas? Do we need to see this track binned? I guess we'll find out in the future Grand Prix and seasons. But for now, we've just set an identical lap time with what we set earlier. On the first lap of today's video, we did a 2:01.868. Now, we've just done a 2:01.868. Great consistency so far. Apart from the small blemish of a 2:02.134, we've been pretty consistent, staying in the 2:01s. And I do feel pretty good in this track combination with this bike. It's not one of the tracks I really enjoy doing, but honestly, throughout this time trial, I have begun to appreciate and enjoy this track. I'm certainly not going to be picking it. You know, if it comes up in an online lobby, it's one of the last ones to be chosen, but very much similar to the Kimi ring. I hated it, I hated it, I hated it, and then you go, okay, maybe it's not so bad. I felt the same way with the Saxon ring as well, as a matter of fact. But honestly, I would still rather do the Saxon ring than the Kimi ring or the Circuit of the Americas. So here in COTA, as we go firm on the brakes, whoa, braking as hard as we possibly can for this very, very difficult turn 12. Alex Marquez crashing there at the weekend. Read that he apparently vomited his helmet throughout the bumps on that part there, so when he did actually go into turn 12, he was a mess braking in. Thankfully I didn't see anything to do with that, and I certainly don't want to see it. Not a fan of those sort of bodily fluids, but I hope Alex Marquez is okay. I think he still looks great on the Ducati. Could very well be looking at a victory for that satellite team, and it could come in the hands of Alex Marquez this season. Don't forget, Fabio Di Gianantonio also had a pole position in Mugello, and of course Enea Bastianini won multiple races on the same bike and same team. So who knows what's going to happen. But across the line, that is an improvement. That's the first improvement of today's video. It's a 2:01.804 as we now start lap 6 of however many I'm going to do today. I do want to beat the 2:01.734. That was set in my first sort of practice run before I decided on making this video. And so far, now I've done the video, I've not been able to improve upon it. Quite competitive though, nonetheless. Quick, easy manoeuvring around that corner there. I just need to change the gear to make sure that we have a low enough gear to manoeuvre the Honda around. And as we go to the right hand side, a little bit deep, going to go back into the tightest part of the apex. Stayed in second gear this time around, and I don't think I like that as much as staying in first. I can't really make my mind up on where I want to have the gear sometimes, but braking late at the 11th corner, Alex Rins certainly looked out of shape here just a couple of days ago, trying to get the bike stopped. You could see Alex was pushing to the maximum. He was also a bit concerned that Luca Marini was on the chase down, as well as Fabio Quartararo, but now firm on the brakes will go once again. A little bit more tentative for turn 12 this time around, nice and tight, and then follow the racing line. Not bad. Not bad at all, but I just don't think we're going to improve upon the lap time as it stands. Losing a little bit of time for this change of direction. This is where Ayumi Sasaki went down, of course. Good to see on Twitter that Ayumi Sasaki has come to the aid of Jake Dixon regarding his off in the warm-up lap. Bit of a disaster for the Brits at the weekend, with both Joshua Watley and Jake Dixon binning it on the warm-up lap. Absolutely crazy to see stuff like that. But to have it to happen twice in 2 rounds in the same weekend from the same country is just bizarre. Absolutely bonkers. But across the line, that is another improvement. Oh, just behind our record lap from earlier on, a 2:01.734. This time it's a 2:01.741. But that is 3, well, 4 as well if you count the invalidated lap. A very consistent pace. We're on it now, ladies and gentlemen. Who knows what lap time we can put in. And of course, guys, if you want to tackle this challenge yourself, you're more than welcome to do so. Just go into our Discord server and let me know what time you got here in MotoGP 22 with your LCR Castrol Honda here in the Circuit of the Americas. So now with the change of direction back into turn 9, already up to turn 9, and you're already finishing the first sector. That's how many ridiculous amount of corners in Circuit of the Americas. So now braking into the left-hand side again. Oh, I lost a lot of time there. Just, what was I doing? I braked a bit too early there upon the anticipation of me going a little bit too wide. I do find that happens to me. You get a certain amount of gap to the sector from the previous lap time, and you're like, oh, I've got this now. Don't mess this up, and you immediately make that mistake. I ride at my best when I have no inhibitions, and I forget about that sort of mishap that can happen. So that is just simply my fault from this one. And hopefully from this point onwards we can still improve the lap time, going a little bit deeper there to bring it in nice and tight. Touching the apex, wobbling on the RC213V. And now we go back to the right-hander, staying in second gear for this one. Continuing to lean over to the right-hand side. Moving over now to the left. It's just approaching the left-hand side for turn 19. Here we go now to the left-hand side once more for turn 20. I've ran it deep. I ran it deep. No improvement. Oh, what a blunder. Call me Pecco Bagnaia because now I'm making mistakes, it seems. So that's our first 2:02 for a while. Let's hope we can get back into the 2:01s. Just that small mistake there. I know, granted, we'd already invalidated the lap, so it's not going to count. But I still wanted to keep it within the 2:01s. Oh well. It is what it is, but we now go to the left-hand side, not invalidating in there again. Nice and tight to the apex is good stuff so far. As we bring on the power, we're not gaining as much time as we did on that previous lap. We're up by 0.2 of a second to the split. That's good. That is promising, ladies and gentlemen. Now back over to the right for turn 8. Quick change of direction for turn 9. Quick upshift as well, so you don't end up wheeling coming out of the corner. And you look at that. Up by 0.3 of a second. Do not make a blunder again. Nice and firm on the brakes. A little bit wide. Get the nice tight cut back. Bring the power on. Keep away from the rumble strip. Yeah, we're good. We are looking at a half-second improvement here, guys and gals. You had to wait 7.5 laps to see it. But this is it. Firm on the brakes. Do we mess it up? Looking pretty good. Tentative with the left Alpine Stars boot. But as we pull into the 12th corner, we have a chance here. I'd love to get into the 2-minute markers, but I'm not sure I have the skill or the talent to do that. I think I need a lot more laps than just 8. Oh, that's deep there, but we'll get that nice cut back into 15. The gap is depicting a 0.3 of a second improvement. The green bar dedicating to how much of an improvement at the exact point on track. And it's trending well. A little bit early upon the brakes here for the left-hand side for 19. But if we get the power and then brake just where that shadow is, or at least before it, we have a chance of improving here. Into the final corner. 20 has been tackled across the line. It is an improvement. A 2:01.441 for the kind of Alex Rins here in the Circuit of the Americas. Oh, I'm happy with that one. That was good. That was a good performance. Can we do it again? I guess we'll find out. So, my final lap of tonight. What can we do? Ooh. On the rumble strip and then back over to the left. It's good. Up by 0.3. Could this be? Could it be a 2-minute lap? I guess we're going to find out. Traction control still on 2, don't forget, guys and gals. Not pushing it too much, but I'm also being rather smooth and gentle with the acceleration. The throttle's being handled with kid gloves at this point. As we now bring on the power, we will be preparing ourselves for the straight as we get a little bit out of shape there. That's not as tight as I usually like. Are we still up? Oh, fighting on the rumble strip. We're down a bit, but I'm sure we can still do it. So guys, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Quick one this time. Here we go. On the brakes. Oh, the rear tyre was skipping around then. As we go back into the left-hand side for turn 12. Nice tight apex. Good stuff. Coming in from the LCR Honda. Back over to the right-hand side. Keep it in tight. Oh, the controller vibrating as we went onto the right-hand side of the tyre there. As we now go back to the twisty sections. Turn 15. Beckoning an improvement. It is 0.2 in the favour of DrAce. A 2:01.441 could be at jeopardy here. Could be not quite a world record, but it'd be my personal record. Let's say that for now. As we go to the left, nice and tight, the apex for 19. Gonna get the braking right here, and we've done it. Firm on the anchors to the left-hand side. Is it enough? Lost a smidgen of time there across the line. Oh, it's not good enough, but still, 2:01.173. So there you are then, guys. Those are my lap times on screen right now. A pretty strong performance with a potential lap time of a 2:07.04. Might have to come back to this and give it another shot, especially as there's 0.4 up for grabs. I'll have to come back to this at some point. But guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, let me know in the comments section down below. If you want to see more videos just like this, be sure to hit the subscribe button. And finally, let me know what you want to discuss about MotoGP. Guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to consider becoming a member of the DrAce pit crew. I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite set your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.